Hey there, this is Laura Brandenburg with Bridging the Gap. And today I want to talk about for the senior business analysts and the managers and the directors out there, like how do you help a new business analyst capitalize on their transferable skills? So, because in your role as a leader in your organization, it's likely that you're approached by many people who are interested in starting business analyst careers, right? But they don't quite know where to get started, and you might not even quite know how to help them get started. And they're looking for your support and guidance. Now, helping new business analysts get started, it's a huge path for you too. It's a path into leadership, it's a path into expanding the credibility of the business analysis role within your company. It's just like a lot of fun, right? And I just want to start by honoring your work that you're doing here, because I do believe we build our profession one business analyst at a time. And so the work that you're doing to help that new business analyst get started, it's also helping build our profession. So thank you so much. And now if you are a new business analyst getting started, you still want to stay tuned into this video, okay? Because it's going to help you know what to look for in a mentor and somebody who's guiding you, or even like pass this on to them to have them, if they're not, they want to help you, but they're not sure how, this would be a great resource to pass on to them so that they can use it and help you in a more structured way as well. So when we're thinking about how to help somebody get started, the first thing we want to do is understand the depth of the skills and experience they already have. So I've worked with hundreds or thousands of business analysts or aspiring business analysts. And again, the pattern I see is that they don't appreciate the experience they already have and how it relates to the business analysis profession. So they get really hung up on like specific terms. I didn't do things that were called that, or specific templates. And that's like the outer layer of what we do, and it's really important to use the templates and the terms that are appreciated in your organization. But the core skills behind that, a lot of times they have really core analysis skills and really strong communication skills, and are really able to do a lot of the work of a business analyst, and they just need to provide these little tweaks to make it look like the right kind of documentation, or be able to talk about how it's the right kind of documentation. So you want to start by helping them assess their transferable skills. Now, a lot of people that go through our programs actually do this by virtue of going through some business analysis training. So they start the training thinking, I don't have the business analyst skills, right? And so I'm going to get some training to expand my skills, improve my skills, and expand my experience. And then through the course of going through the courses, they actually realize, well, wait a minute, I kind of have done this before, and I have done this before. And so the course helps them put that tweak on it to give it that extra edge of formality, but it also really builds upon a skill that they already had, an experience they already had. So that's one way to go through a transferable skills assessment. Just take a business analysis course that touches on a lot of the techniques and the process, and use that as a tool to figure out what you know and what you don't know. But you can also coach somebody through this, and that's something I've done several times throughout my career as well. And so what you want to do is start with a list of the key skills and a list of the key process areas. And you can do this, you can create this using your job role or your job description within your company by looking at job descriptions across companies. I've also, with this video, wherever you're seeing it, there should be a link to a download for a skills assessment that we offer through Bridging the Gap. And it will map to our business analyst blueprint and the 8-step business analysis process that we teach. And it's because we've seen these skills come up again and again and be critical for new business analysts to have and be successful in. So you don't have to create your own checklist. You can download ours and use that as a tool as well. So what do you want to do with that assessment though? Because the assessment gives you the structure, but you as the business analyst really need to help them understand, like, what do all these terms mean? And to what depth has something that they've created really represent experience and valid experience in that skill? So one example might be like a process model, right? Like, oh, I've never really done that. And then you say, well, let's talk about what it is. It's a visual model that has activities and boxes and decision points about, if there's different paths through that process and a starting point and ending point. Have you ever, created anything like that? Maybe on a whiteboard, maybe it was in Visio, maybe not, right? And you can have that discussion and get them thinking about, well, maybe I have done this at a certain point, and start to document then the level of skill that they have and the scope of the skill and their comfort level with that skill. Right, so you essentially want to walk through each of those skills and what does it mean? Have they done it before? Help them see their experience in the context of business analysis. It's really going to give a powerful view into what they have done and what they haven't done. Another question that I like to ask as I'm starting an assessment like this with somebody is, just tell me about the biggest project you've ever been on. Or tell me about the project you think is most like a business analysis project, or where you had a role that was closest to business analysis. So we start with the project instead of starting with the skills. And then as they're talking about it, I ask well, what was your role, right? Who did you communicate with? Who did you talk to? What kind of meetings were you in, or what kind of meetings did you facilitate? What kind of documentation did you create? Just kind of getting questions to start to pull out from that project. What are the business analysis experiences? And you'll start to see it. You'll be like, oh, so you were in a meeting with 3 different stakeholders, and maybe it was for me, my transferable experience came from testing process. So I created a new test process for my organization. It didn't exist before. And I was in meetings with business stakeholders to review what was a test plan, right? But it was really a business process. Nobody told me that, but it really was. And so I had the experience of running a meeting with 6 or 7 people in it that all had competing interests and wanted me to do things, and I wanted them to do things, and we were aligning on what that process should be going forward, right? And that was very transferable when I went to start holding my requirements meetings and figure out what do people want out of this new product, and what should the requirements be and what shouldn't they be. Different but similar, and I was able to translate some of that experience to be able to run those meetings more effectively right away as a business analyst. And so that's the kind of thing you're looking for to help them understand and appreciate in themselves. Now, one thing to really be aware of is that a lot of times, it's not going to be a direct match in terminology. It's not like you can just ask somebody, hey, have you done wireframes before? And they'll be like, yeah, I totally did wireframes before, right? This is why they're transitioning into the role. So they might not even know what that term means. And in fact, one of our first participants in the use cases in wireframes course, in the first week of the course was like, oh my God, I was just in a job interview and they asked me if I had ever done wireframes. And I didn't know what that meant, and so I said no. And the reality is he had done what he called prototypes. And same thing, right? Same core skill. Maybe there were some nuances because sometimes people use those terms differently, and there's a wide variety of visual models that people create to model the user interface, right? There's a wide variety of how that works. But the core skill of being able to create something like that would have been really valuable information for that person to share with his employer, and could have led to getting the job versus not getting the job. And so that's the kind of thing you're looking for to help them translate the terminology and what they've done that might actually be relevant. So really watch out for the differences of terms and focus more on what that output is and what process they were going through to generate that output, rather than what terms they use to describe it. Another term that often gets used is just documentation. I just created documentation. It wasn't business analysis documentation, right? What documentation? What was in it? Was it the scope of the project? Was it the details of how the process worked? Was it, a list of functional requirements? So could we have put that into a use case, right? So could you make that translation? Was there a visual model in there? What did that look like? How do we relate that to something that a business analyst might do? So watch out for documentation too. It's another really commonly used term that really often means something more than what the person thinks it means. So I hope this helps you help your aspiring business analysts get more confident in their skills and take even further steps in their career. Of course, the next thing you're going to want to do as a result of this is give them assignments or a task that help them formalize some of their experience or take the next step and fill in gaps that they really do, like legitimate gaps in their experience. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next video. In the meantime, be sure to download that assessment. I'd love to hear what you think about it, and let me know, like, what have you done to help a new or aspiring business analyst really discover and appreciate their transferable skills. I think it'd be useful for us all as a community to share that with each other and read what each other has to say, and that could give us other ideas as well. So thank you so much again for what you're doing to help new business analysts get started. I'm Laura Brandenburg from Bridging the Gap, and we help business analysts start their careers.